What's up, my people? Five Session Podcast. We back for another episode 2 of season 3. I got my people with me. We
Same.
live, y'all. So anything you hear us say today, it ain't pre-recorded. It's live. So if you got questions, you got comments, make sure you hit us up. I got my guy Benji Banks with me. What up, Benji?
What's happening with it, my man?
And we got the legendary. Y'all gonna understand while I give him his flowers. The legendary Position with him.
Sure.
And I'm gonna tell y'all off top before y'all even get started. These are my cousins, like for real. So this is a family affair today, but we here to let you know who Position is.
Yes,
now,
sir.
That's how special it is, y'all.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna jump it right off, y'all. We're gonna kind of shape this thing where, first of all, we're gonna check on everybody. We gotta do our check-ins. Forgive me. Benji, how's your week get started off, my brother?
Man, crazy week, man. But I handle it, man. This one is a crazy week because we got meetings galore, big wigs from all across the country, man. It's like go. Everybody's on edge, man. But I enjoy it, man, because it makes the day go by quick in the mortgage industry. So you be popping, you get out of there. But that freeway traffic, though. Somebody pray for the 91 freeway out here in Cali, man. It's the devil. I'm just telling you, straight up. So y'all pray for the 91 freeway, man. It's wild out here. But other than that, we straight, man. We doing it. We making it happen.
Ooh,
that's right.
Position. How's your week starting off?
My week starting off cool. Had a long week last week. Just a couple shows. Then Crazy Bone had a launch party for his it's called Cannabis, his weed syrup. So did that, supported the big homie on that, and just came back home and working on this next project right now. That's it.
Sure.
Yeah, because I know the work with you all never stops. It's a constant thing, and what people don't understand or may not know about Position is he's not just the DJ for Bone Thugs. He's an artist himself. He's also a producer. So we're gonna get into all that, and he even helped your boy make a few beats. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all
all right.
early enough, you know what I'm saying? When you see my intro video, that's me. That's me on YouTube. That's me putting that together.
That's the one you sent me, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. So that's me putting that together. So
sure.
And let me tell y'all a story before we get started. Like this whole show thing that I do, any of the podcasts that I do, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. It came from a conversation with P. We were talking on the phone one night, and I talked about the idea of doing these shows, man, a podcast years ago. And I kept talking about it. And when we were doing the pandemic, P was like, man, you just got to do it. Just get on and just get started.
Right.
And I did. And here we are almost a year and some months later. And you know what I'm saying? I'm doing what I love to do. So I appreciate him for putting that battery in my back. And you need people like that around you that's going to tell you the truth.
Right. I mean, shoot. Yeah, I think you told me that when you came out here to Cali too, right?
Yeah, he didn't sugarcoat it.
Right.
He was like, cuz you're going to have to stop with the what you want to do and just do it. You know what I'm saying? And here I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm almost 100 episodes into these shows. So that's a lot of work in 1 year, but I'm willing to do it because I love to do it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm strong with it.
So, Position. First of all, what's up with the name? Like, where'd the name come from? Like, how did you come up with that?
Yeah, it's funny.
Don't tell us. Hold on. Don't tell us you out there in Cali and you was over there in the valley. You know what I'm saying, making the movies. That's where your name came from.
Close.
Spill the beans. What's happening?
Some of the older homies and shit that was part of the family had a sex clique called Digging Them Down. and everybody has sex names. So that was there was
That'll sell. That'll sell.
Yes, there was Nympho, there was Daddy Longstrode, Mr. Satisfied. There was we was like 30 deep. And at that time, I was only like 12, 13. And my people Kobe was freestyling, just naming everybody names, yada yada yada. And then he just turned around and he just looked at me and he was like, "What's your name?" And I just said Position. And everybody just fell out laughing, like, damn, that shit hard. So I just been stuck with that, ever since I was like 12, 13 years old.
That's interesting, because I know everybody got a story behind their name, and that's one heck of a story. Because I mean, you know what I'm saying, y'all out there in Cali, man. You know what I'm saying, Cali a little different. So you gotta, you gotta check and see. But I was close. You know what I'm saying. I just made a guess. I didn't even know that, y'all. I had never asked him that before.
Yeah,
so that's interesting.
They would we would go to the mall. At that time, I'm definitely a virgin at like 12, 13. But we would go to the mall and they would play a game called Do the Honors. So basically, we in the mall or something or anywhere at that point, and if I see a female and I point her out, you got to go try to get her number, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So that was like their way of brushing game up on me and teaching me how to talk to females.
What was your success rate?
My success rate in the beginning, out of a 10, probably a 2 or a 3, because I was scared to talk to females. I was scared of shit and shit like that. And it took for we got a cousin named Demeter. She would always throw block parties. She would always throw. It went from house parties to block parties to just a party through the whole summer, and just different kind of people just come all to the house. And, I would always look for the females that would be a little bit drunk and flirtation.
I think we all started low hanging looking for the weak links. Okay. Right. That's how it worked.
So at that time I was just trying to brush my game up, and when I got a little older, my same people, Kobe and a few other people and shit, introduced me to some older females, and I didn't know what I was doing. I ended up falling in love with the bitch and all kind of shit, man.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, I was like 16. She was like,
okay.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, if you was 20, we was about to be in trouble.
No. I was like 16. She was like 27, 28.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So she knew.
She put it on you, huh?
Oh man, she put that suck a nigga dick and make biscuits from scratch. I was like, nigga, what is this?
New experiences, huh?
I ended up living with the bitch for a minute. I was like,
oh man.
Yeah, it was.
She cooked? She cooked?
Oh, she cooked. I mean, bitch had kids, so.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? It was one of those things where my people was trying to introduce me to that type of lifestyle, and I just wasn't ready for it at the time.
Right.
And, but he let me go through what I went through as a young teenager, as a young man growing up, and then I started eventually becoming positioned in life.
Right.
And, once that light hit, it was over.
What would you say is the big difference from those earlier moments to the moments now? What would you say is the big difference?
Depending on what you mean, though. Depending on what?
As far as lifestyle, maybe how you approach a situation now. So, for example, I mean, obviously seasoned, right? Been out with some groups and things of that nature. What would be like the most, you would say, would make the most impact? What made the most impact to you? Was it just the homies around you allowing you to grow? Was it the clout? What was it?
I think what made the most impact would probably learning from the homies' mistakes.
Right.
ever since I was a little dude, I've always, you know, as a young teenager, as a young adult, we always do kind of things out of impulse.
Right.
But I've always been a thinking person before. You know, I've always stuck my toe in the water before I just jumped in the pool.
Right.
So, you know, when I seen some of the homies do things and fail, or, you know what I'm saying, just kind of go wilding out and, you know, regretted it later, it was one of those things where I just kind of like, well, shit, I ain't finna do that.
Right.
And, you know, I just kind of take those things and, you know, I feel like those had the impact on me. And it could be negative and positive because, you know, sometimes you do have to kind of go out and jump out on the ledge to learn things in life. You know what I'm saying? You never know what you'll get. But at the same time, I ain't seen none of them niggas have a big success rate after what they did. So I was like, you know, I'm glad I ain't go that route.
Right. That's dope. That's dope.
So the biggest thing with that is, like I say all the time, you don't lose, you learn.
Yeah.
So when you go through things in life, don't look at it as a loss. Look at it as a learning experience and just learn from it and make sure you don't make those mistakes again because, you know what I'm saying, it could cost you next time. So, you know.
That bought experience.
That
yes,
one time,
as the old folks used to say.
That one time can cost you.
Yeah. You are absolutely right. You know what I'm saying? We a lot of us have been lucky to get out of some situations that we were definitely in, but that's another episode. But okay, check this out though. What made you get started in music? Like, how did you transition from just, you know what I'm saying, chilling with the homies, you know what I'm saying, chasing chicks and being a regular teenager to transitioning to wanting to do music?
Well, I've always been a fan of music, like we all be a fan of music growing up. But I was around 8, and it's kind of like a 3-part situation. I was kind of I was around 8, and I was laying in my room, sleep, and my people sang Kobe, Andre, Nene, Junie, and a few other people that came in the room. That was obviously a lot older, but you know, they just came to mom's house after running the streets and all this other type of shit, and they just came in there, you know, lit, you know, talking some gang shit, and I thought it was dope that they was doing what I heard on the radio. Like, they was playing around, but I thought it was dope. So I took it upon myself to go in the kitchen. You know, they didn't know what I was doing. They thought I was going to use the bathroom or something. So I went to the kitchen, got a piece of paper, and started writing. Mm-hmm. And I thought it'd be some cool shit to, you know, rap that in front of them. And here I am, I'm 8 years old, and I'm rapping about a whole lot of gang shit.
Right.
And I know nothing about gang banging, none of that type shit. I just know about the gangs that's in the area.
Yeah.
And Kobe was like, what do you know about this? And man, don't do that, man. Change that shit up. Like, he got on my head. So it kind of made me sit there, you know, and think, you know, like, don't be talking about shit you don't know about.
Right.
You know, the second part is a few years later. And Crisscross came out, right? It's funny. Mm-hmm. Crisscross came out, and, you know, they came out with a Jump song. And they dissed, remember that group, Another Bad Creation?
Yeah, ABC, yeah.
So they dissed Another Bad Creation. You know, so I'm a kid at the time. So, you know, at that time, I was like, wait a minute, I like ABC. So I took whatever that verse was that they had, that first verse, and I rewrote it to where I was dissing them. So I would go to school and I would rap those lines, and everybody would be like, oh man, that shit hard, that shit this. I probably rapped that same song for about 2 years.
Wow.
And we got a cousin named Junior, and him and he had 2 homeboys named Camo and KO, and they was a rap group at the time, so they would go out, do talent shows and all that. And at that time, I looked up to my cousin because he was, you know, older, you know, long hair, had all the girls and stuff like that. So I was like, that's the kind of attention that I want to get.
I want it, right.
Yeah, and but I would always try to write, and he wasn't paying attention. He was doing his own thing until his homeboy Camel came in there and was like, "Man, what you in there?" And he seen me with a stack of books. He was like, "Man, what you in there?" And I just start kind of rapping shit. He was like, "Oh man, you dope." And you know, he ended up taking me to a studio somewhere in somebody's house, recorded some, which came out, you know, dope. I couldn't remember what I said. Then I met the homie Doc, and I met him through our cousin Leanne, and you know, they took me to the studio and ended up recording my first professional studio song in Paramount Studios. And you know, once I heard it getting mixed in a big speaker, it was no turning back from me after that point.
Right.
So
fell in love with it from a early age, huh?
Yeah.
So when you did that song though, the first professional song, you know, where you recorded, like how old were you then when you did that song?
I was like 14 to 15.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like 14 years old. I want to say 14, and it just came like you know, they just took me under their wings or whatever, because they, you know, they was older as well. And they was like, "Yeah, we finna go to Paramount Studios and all that." I was like, "Yeah, I'm rolling. Shit, I ain't tripping."
Right.
And you know, they was doing a song called "Let It Rain," and they didn't have a hook for it. So, you know, at that time, I don't know if y'all remember back in the day, like they had this little era where they was talking about Ouija boards and all that other shit. So they was doing that kind of music on a few songs. So they didn't have a hook. And, you know, and I'm just kind of just computing freestyle and shit in my head. So I just started saying shit. And the homie June, people at the time heard me say it. And she was like, "Yo, like, Position got some shit over here." And they just like, "Wow, man, get in the booth." I'm like, all right.
Opportunity.
And you know, once I said it, you know, they just kind of looked at me like, "Damn, this dude is kind of dope." And you know, like I said, man, after that, you couldn't tell me nothing. Like, I was officially a rapper.
How comfortable were you in your first studio session recording that track? Was it like just natural flow? Was there any like super nerves, or what was it? Was anything like that at that moment? Because being what, 15?
Yeah, I was about 14, 15.
14, 15, yeah.
I wouldn't even say it was. I wouldn't even say I had nerves. It was one of those like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to do. Like, I'm gonna show them that I do this.
Right.
More than me being nervous. And, you know, it just happened, man. And like I said, once I recorded it, there was no turning back.
Right.
Okay. So let me ask you this: when we just talked about how, you know, your start to where you made your first rap song, but let's shift gears for a second and talk about Position, the producer. So talk to us about like where that journey started, and you know how you got into the production part of it.
That's also like a two-part thing, because I always tell people I started when I was like 18, but I actually started when I was like 14. I was always at the homie Doc's house, stayed like right up the block from him. And he had this drum machine called the S950. I know a lot of motherfuckers ain't gonna know what that is.
That's old
school, right? So,
man, little D-pad.
Man, so he had that, and I didn't know what it was, but you know, he had that, and he had a little computer, and you know, they would try to make me some beats for me to rap on, and you know, I would always just be super picky or whatever. And I remember them sampling G Thing and reversing it and did some other shit, and I was like, all right, but I wasn't really on it. And then Doc just showed me what to do with it, and I kind of started fucking with it, but then we ended up moving. So it was like some years between that part and by the time I was 18 till I made another track. And I ended up linking it back up with the homie June. which they was partners at the time. And he was working off the MPC 2000. So I would go to his house and, he would be making beats and I'm just rapping over shit. And then he would make beats for the homie Deuce. And, which, at that time, man, Deuce was so cold with it. And I'm like, I want to get my little shine too. But at that time, I felt like he was just making like me some other shit, some little homie shit. Like, here you go. And then one day he just said, you know what, man, let me show you how to work this shit. And, I sat there all day. Like, I think that nigga had like the MPC and like a Casio keyboard or some shit.
Ooh. Casio. That joint had a lot of sounds on it though, man. You could tinker with on that Casio though.
And but once he showed me, I sat there and he just left me in his room, like, man, do your shit. And it took me about a week and I made my first beat. Then I did a song called Where the Weed At. And once I learned how to do that, it was like I was just searching other people's place to, use that equipment. And, over the years, I ended up meeting other people that, yeah, man, my nigga got the MPC 3000 over here. He got this. And I was just so hungry on learning how to make beats because, I didn't want to wait on nobody to make me my own. And that's how that shit just started. And then word just kind of started getting out.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. Dope.
Yeah.
But what about this though? Do you prefer rapping or producing? Like, which one do you prefer the most?
I prefer rapping and singing because, you know what I'm saying? There's so many talented people making music now. You know what I'm saying? I can just literally go online and just, I like that. And then, just kind of start vibing off of something. And then, I actually have a producer myself now. So,
Okay.
So his name is Wise and he's dope. So it's nothing for me to kind of like freestyle something, especially a hook. I just freestyle a hook and just kind of vibe off of that and come up with some crazy shit. And, my passion is actually performing.
Okay.
Beat selection. Like what gets you like super hype on a beat selection though? Like when you're either producing or you're either rapping on it. Is it something that's like super hype or something super mellow? What's the flow like for you?
Just depending on what the energy is for me. Because I study so much music. It's not just rap. It's not just R&B. It's everything. So, like right now, I'm working on a 80s inspired album, which is crazy. I've done a whole rock album, so it's like it really just depends on the energy for me. And some will just kind of like come up, and okay, let me just get in the booth. Let me just record this right now. And you know what I'm saying? And there'll be times where I might finish that song in 30 minutes to an hour. It might be times where I might finish that song like next year or some shit. And, it just depends on what that energy is.
Right. Having all those avenues kind of makes you a little bit more experienced too, I'm sure. Yeah. Knowing all those samples and knowing all those hooks to be able to put it in there, I'm sure that's pretty dope.
Yeah, man. It's a good feeling, especially when for me, I feel like it's a cheat code for me because I can complete a song or I can halfway complete a song.
Right.
And I'll take it to the show. And after or before, I put Bone on or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I have that opportunity to put that shit in my Serato and just play it in front of the crowd and get a reaction.
Reaction from it, right.
You know what I'm saying? So I get to see if a motherfucker gonna bob the head to it or if somebody that's gonna be on the phone talking or whatever. Now I'd be like, okay, this is gonna be one of those ones. And this ain't it. Let me work on that. So
right. Does the new age equipment, like it's set up now, a little bit more easier to produce than it is, say, maybe 15 years ago or whatever?
Well, everything is on this laptop now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got fucking 4 drum machines just sitting right here collecting dust now. I got keyboards just sitting over here. It's like now all I got to do is I literally have everything in my laptop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it definitely, if you know what you're doing, it definitely makes it easier.
Right.
And what I was gonna say too is from him putting the battery in my back and me messing with beats now, you get caught up sometimes, and like when he was saying make make a song and then like stop. I have beats that I made in the past couple of days, and I know he gets this a lot probably, where you have this certain sound you have stuck in your head for this certain beat, but you can't find the right drum or the right snare or something, and it's just so you just got to put it to the side until maybe you working on something else, and then you hear that drum that you've been looking for. Then you got to go back to that track and say, okay, I'm gonna put this drum on that track, and then it might take a while for you to find the right drum for that track.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes it'll take you, I might make a beat in like 5-10 minutes one day, and then the next day that shit might take me about a week or two just to get the right sounds or whatever. And one of my computers, man, I got like 500 gigabytes worth of stuff. So it might take a while to be like, okay, this is what I want. You know what I'm saying? You just never know, man. Music is music.
Yep. So who are your biggest musical influences as far as being an artist and production? Like, who are you influenced by?
Everybody. But to narrow it down, producers, I would say, I'm I guess you can call this old school now. I'm like Timberland and Pharrell, Dr. Dre, DJ Quick,
right.
A little bit of Studio Tone. I don't know if y'all know about Studio Tone out in the Bay. When it comes to rap, it's definitely like Snoop, E40.
The legends.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? People like Prince, Michael Jackson, Korn. I don't know if y'all know about Korn.
Yeah. Korn with the K. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Like System of a Down is one of my favorite rock groups.
Right.
It's a lot, man. Like a lot. Like right now I'm listening to a group called Stick Figure. You know what I'm saying? They kind of like got a Jamaican feel or Rasta feel, if that's what you want to call it. But I listen to just a little bit of everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? I listen to the Baby. I listen to Lil Baby. You feel me? I listen to 42 Doug. I listen to a whole bunch of people, man. Lil Durk out there doing his thing. So I just get inspired by a whole lot.
Inspired by all of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Well, I like to do something here and there that you might see on other shows too. It's called Start Bench Cut. A lot of times they do it with athletics and sports, but for you, I did it with producers. So we're gonna put you on the spot. This may be easy, it may be hard. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you mentioned Timberland and Pharrell, they're actually on this list. So Start Bench Cut. You got Timberland, you got Pharrell, and you got Kanye West.
Okay.
So who you starting, who you benching, who you cutting?
Who am I starting, who am I benching, and who am I cutting?
Dang.
Mm-hmm. Timberland, Pharrell, Kanye.
I would start. I would actually start Timberland.
Okay.
I would have to, and I say this because they do other shit. Like I would actually bench Pharrell because I know that he can come in there and give me a hook. He can come in there and give me some other shit. And I wouldn't want to cut Kanye, but if I had to choose,
I had the option. Got to.
Yeah. Now, if you'd have said motherfucking Just Blaze, maybe it'd have been a whole different subject.
Right. Cutting ye, huh?
So are you saying you a bigger fan of Just Blaze than Kanye?
When it comes to the beat, yeah.
Okay, so what makes you a bigger fan of Just Blaze? Like, what elements of what he does that appeals to you?
Well, because I feel like they do similar, the same shit. They got kind of the same style when it comes to sampling, but it's just what Just Blaze does, man. That just makes it crazy. You know what I'm saying? From the "Show Me What You Got" with Jay-Z,
right,
which is crazy, to "Kingdom Come" with Jay-Z. When he sampled Super Freak.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a hard flip.
Man, I was like, man, this dude is stupid. So it's just the way he structures his beats for me. Of course, Kanye is Kanye.
Right.
But yeah, it's just the way that he structured his beats, and it was super different. I like when people just go extra left.
So what would be your top Timbaland track though that he produced that you would say off the top right now? It'd be like, you know what? That's his top track. I deal with that.
I don't know, man. It's Timbaland got a lot of tracks.
He got a lot.
Timbaland got a lot. Just Aaliyah's catalog, period, is crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Justin Timberlake's catalog, it's crazy. I couldn't even narrow it down for you, bro.
Now don't stunt on Timbaland and Magoo.
Yeah, because
a couple of albums was fire too. They had some fire. Now the bars, I don't know.
They had us all bouncing back in the day.
The production was A1.
Yeah, from When the Clock Strikes and all that type shit.
Oh
yeah,
Missy stuff. Oh man.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing. I think a lot of people, once Timbaland came out and the way he produces, I think a lot of people like bit off of his style and just kind of pieced it out to different things, because he was one of the first. He was one of the first people using all these wild sound effects and things of that nature, and people was like, "That's kind of weird." But when you listen to the song now, you'd be like, "Oh man, that's a frog." Right. He used a frog sound effect.
No, he definitely changed the landscape of music.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. There was live musicians before him that did the triplets and all that, but just the way he did it and presented it in hip hop, you know what I'm saying, was super different.
Yeah, he's a monster, still a monster, man. Like
yeah.
Okay.
But now it's like he could just get loops and then just chop it up however you want to now. It's just super easy now. It's too easy.
Right.
Yep. So, okay, check this out. The next question I have on my list is, what's your biggest challenge you think for being an artist right now? Like for you, like what's your biggest challenge versus, I guess, when you first started to now, like what are the challenges?
To be honest, my biggest challenge is being taken more serious of being an artist more than being Bones DJ, which I feel like a lot of that still has to fall on myself. I feel like I just got to put out more music. I do get consumed of doing stuff for other people. Not just Bone, but for other people. But like you said a little earlier, like a lot of people, see me and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, man, you did your shit, man. You play some dope music or whatever." And because Bone Thugs and Harmony is such an iconic ass fucking group,
right?
That kind of overshadows it a little bit. But I know, again, like I said, that has to do with me. I have to put out just more music, so I'm putting out more right now. And I'm gonna do it regardless, but
right.
always,
I'm sure it's been pretty dope working with them, though, man. Over the years, man, seeing all the tracks that they laid, man, I know that has to be like just memories you could take forever and just talk about, right?
Yeah. It's one of those things, man, where it's like it's just a blessing because growing up and going to high school and listening to these dudes, it's like damn. When I first met Crazy and Keith G, this was like 06. I want to say 06. And he was fresh off like the Riding Dirty. They was fresh off the I Tried So Hard. The I Don't Give a Fuck with Lil Jon. And then when the homegirl Tanya Duche introduced me to him, it was like, okay, man, this is pretty dope. And by them, Keith G and Crazy Bone invited me to the studio so much, making me feel comfortable, and I just got to see, like you said, a whole lot more. And once I started taking these trips and going on the road with them, you know what I'm saying, just getting to see everything in a whole nother perspective as an artist. You know what I'm saying? How you carry yourself as an artist. It's crazy, man. You get to see a lot of shit.
So how did you actually become the DJ for Bone Thugs? Like you talk about, you met Crazy Bone, and you were doing you were on your artist stuff, but then how did you go from that to being the DJ?
Being the DJ, right?
Crazy and Wishbone was doing a tour in Australia. It was supposed to be I was supposed to go with him to North Korea. Not North Korea, South Korea.
Say, wow.
Hold on. Did you actually get over there?
No, I can get you a story about North Korea, but we'll do that.
Right.
So we was in the studio, me, Crazy, and a couple other people, and then I ended up going home. And then this dude ended up calling, was like, bro, do you got your passport? I was like, nah, I never had my passport before. He was like, man, we leaving to Korea in 10 days. And I was like, is that right? And I was like, yeah. So I was like, I didn't know shit about expediting and none of that type shit. So I ended up missing that trip. And they was like, yeah, we finna go do Africa and we finna do Australia. And at that time, I'm working a regular job still, doing my little side thing or whatever. And took like almost a month to get my passport. My first son was about to be born and shit. Matter of fact, he was born. And they just didn't have a DJ. But I didn't know. I thought I was going to Australia. Africa didn't get to happen. It got canceled. And I'm thinking I'm going out there just to kind of like open up or, be that little roadie or whatever the case may be. And as soon as we get to the airport, to the LAX airport, they handed me this little case with this shit called the instant replay. And they was like, do you know how to work one of these? I was like, nah, nigga, I ain't never seen that shit before. And nigga Wishbone says, well, shit, you know how to make beats, right? And I was like, yeah, but this ain't no beat machine. He was like, it ain't gonna be much. It's, just a couple buttons. All you gotta do is hit this and the music gonna play. Still not computing with me. So now I gotta think about whatever this shit is on a 15-hour flight to Australia. And then come to find out we have a show to do that night.
Wow.
Timing.
That night. So needless to say, I fucked up on the first night.
Okay.
To be expected.
And the second night. And the third night. I fucked
and
up.
They stuck with it. Okay.
And they stuck. I mean, shit, we had 18 shows to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, kind of like the background. I was baptized by fire. You feel me?
Right.
But, Crazy and Wish saw something in me, I guess. And, Craig was like, nah, I want to work with this dude, yada, yada. And you know, I just had to take it serious, man. I had a conversation with the homegirl Mariah, not Carrie.
I was just about to ask. I'd be like, okay, how she look like in real life? Okay.
I had a conversation with her. She was like, yeah, you know, Crazy Bone want to fuck with you, yada, yada. All right. So, you know, at that time, I felt like, you know, my son was just being born. You know what I'm saying? I had another one on the way. And I felt like it was an opportunity to take some kind of step forward.
Right.
So I said, fuck it, man. And just kept going.
When would you say was the first show when you was like, okay, I got this? Was it like 20, 21, 18? When was it like, okay, you know what? I got this. I can do this.
Well, that's another 2-part thing because in the beginning I was only using the instant replay. So I said about like the 6, 7 show, I was like, okay, yeah, I got it. Because it wasn't just about pressing buttons.
Right.
It was also about knowing cues. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? When to press play, when to press stop, when to hit the explosions, when to do this, when to do that. And, you know what I'm saying? Then I ended up becoming their hype man as well. And you know, that's a lot to, you know, think about and compute.
Right.
The second part, because I end up bumping up to Serato. I want to say like 2012. I didn't know shit about Serato. You know what I'm saying? And I remember doing a show. I want to say it was New Mexico, Santa Fe, New Mexico, or Tucson, Arizona, and I remember not knowing the buttons and where to switch it to. And the intro, so they go, get ready for Bone Thugs and Harmony. And all of a sudden you hear, woo! And you hear, it's on YouTube somewhere, you just hear Crazy going, wow. So I don't remember if it was a homie Sel or Salam Rex. Somebody came out there and helped me like real quick,
right,
to put the signal where it was supposed to be at. And then after that, everything was up and rolling. So
right,
you know, once I learned that, it was some trials and errors, man, that I had to go through. But it's like, you know, right now, you know, especially years and years later, it's like
master at it now. By now,
yeah, and you know, they're super comfortable with me, you know, not just press and play, but you know, there'll be days when there is no busy bone there. There'll be days where there's no busy or lazy there. So you know, I chop up and edit, you know, what I can and make everything just seem seamlessly, and you know, just still make it a dope ass show. Right. There's I remember there was a time where we did the form, and all 5 members were supposed to be there, but Busy Bone got there like super late, and he came in there in the middle of the show, and it's like, they're like, hey P, man, sorry I'm late. And I was like, don't even trip, you know what I'm saying, but you got to go to the next song. So it's like, he was like, all right, cool. So I had to switch from, you know, 4 members to 5 members like that. And you know, everything cool and smooth.
That's pretty dope. Develop that trust with them cats, man, because I know they heavy in it. So for them to put that display and that trust in you, man, that's pretty dope. I'm sure that was a great confidence booster especially at that moment.
Yeah, I mean it is, and it's also the fact that the opportunities that they gave me on being on stage. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, they could easily be like, nah, you're just going to be the DJ and that's it. But, you know what I'm saying? I get the opportunity to go rock out, you know, for, you know, 5, 10, sometimes 15 minutes. And then, you know, put them on stage. I get to warm the crowd up, let them hear the music that I got, and then do what I do. So, you know, it's a blessing in all facets.
That's pretty dope, man. That's
I saw
legit.
some footage too of a show that you did. I don't have the footage with me, but of you doing, your set, and actually DJ Quick stepped in to DJ during your set. How dope was that?
That was crazy. So Bone Bone did a show in the Heineken room at Coachella, and Lazy Bone, man, that dude always put a nigga out there. So Lazy Bone was like, man, my DJ ain't just no DJ. He is all right if you come out and rock with y'all or whatever. And Quick and his people was already kind of like checking out Bone set. So, I go out there and I do what I do. And then all of a sudden I hear the fucking turntables moving, and I turn around and it's the nigga DJ Quick out over there fucking with it. I'm like, oh shit, all right, that's what's up, man.
All right.
Yeah, so it's dope, man, to not only be able to have DJ'd for DJ Quick twice, but to get that dude to DJ, or at least just fuck with the equipment. I don't care if he would just hit
push a couple buttons. What he say, his finger be set tripping. Yeah.
So it's like one of those. I was like, man, that's dope. That's what's up, man. And that part's a blessing. Doing a song with his son was a blessing. It's shit crazy.
All right, I got a quick question though. With as far as dream collab, now I asked this question to certain people, especially if you're in the entertainment industry, everybody has that one or two artists that, if they're an actor, this actor they want to act with, or, for you being a producer and an artist and a DJ, do you have a dream collab? Somebody who you would say, okay, I haven't worked with this person yet, but this is the person who I would love to work with the most.
Okay.
We can go all kind of ways. We can go with the production shit.
Whatever way you want to go.
Production is definitely would be Dr. Dre as far as production goes. Right. Even though I've heard all the horror stories where he'll make you do
16-hour sessions, 20-hour sessions.
Yeah, I had seen an interview with Too Short where they said he had to say the pussy for like 2 hours.
2 hours. I saw that same interview. I was like, called it back the next day.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like I would always be up for that challenge. Another dream collab for me would be again System of a Down, because it'd be some crazy dope shit. And I would say out of Prince and
who wouldn't want to work with Prince, right? Man,
just don't take your girl around him. Just if you was still here, just don't take your girl around Prince. He might just float off. She might just float off with him.
Right. Yeah, man. There's a few, man, that I would actually be like ready to work with. George Clinton.
Yeah. Okay. Birthday just passed not too long ago. That's the GOAT.
Feel me? Sade.
Okay.
I would definitely want to work with Sade. Some super different.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I can keep going on and on. Though.
Right. Now I was reading an article about Parliament where his music has been probably one of the most sampled ever.
Yep.
Would you agree with that?
Out of him and James Brown.
Yeah.
That's out of those two.
Right. I saw that article and I thought, you know what, that has to be true. Just so much production and so much music from them two, man, is crazy. So
yeah, it's I would say out of the three, George Clinton, James Brown, and Roger Troutman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Troutman.
Mr. Computer Love, huh?
You know what I found interesting too is just from a production standpoint, when you said Dr. Dre, I mean, not just because you're from the West Coast, because he to me, when I listen to his music, I always tell people he makes his songs sound theatric, like big,
Yeah,
like it's a production, like a movie. Like you can hear these songs and you can see like a vision while you're listening to his music. It's like he does that in the studio, like he makes it that way because
Right.
he wants, he wants you to have that experience while he's listening. So I think that's another reason why his beats are great, but the way he, I guess, mixes and masters it, like that process of it to expand stuff, and when you put it in your car, the way it goes from the left to the right, it pans or whatever the case may be, like it's a full production of the music, not just making a beat.
yeah. No, that's real talk. He literally perfected the craft of the art of sonics and engineering. You know what I'm saying? Like that's literally an art within itself. You know what I'm saying? When you can take something like "We Will Rock You" and make it sound theatrical. You know what I'm saying? When you could take just boom, boom, clap, boom, boom, clap, and that's it.
And make it something great.
You know what I'm saying? And that's something I feel like Dr. Dre was able to do. Like, you know, think about some of those tracks. When you think about what's that song that Scott Storch produced with him? Still DRE, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that many songs. It wasn't that many sounds in the song. It was kicks, claps, or kick, snare, strings, and keys, and that was it.
And it sounds so like a whole production, huh?
You know what I'm saying? Like that was it. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But the way he beefed them drums up and the way he made them strings like super thick, and the way he made them keys ring like ling 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 ling, like
Right.
if you'd have gave that to another engineer, it definitely wouldn't deal what it did. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it took his mind to go out and search for the best song, because a lot of rappers, which I don't blame niggas, you know, be like, no, I'm the one that wrote this. I did that. Dr. Dre will tell you he's not doing that.
Right.
So for him to get that shit to Eminem, nah, I ain't cool with that. Give it to Snoop Dogg, nah, I ain't cool with that.
Right.
Get that shit to the DLC, nah, that ain't it. And then all of a sudden for him to go all the way to the motherfucking East Coast
and find Jay-Z. Yeah.
And find Jay-Z. And you gotta think, this ain't the era where you could just email a motherfucking MP3 copies and shit.
Exactly. You had to go see him, or they had to come see you, right?
You feel me? So this nigga had to trust somebody to take whatever it was to Jay-Z all the way to 6-hour flight to New York.
Right.
That takes some reels back then.
Now, from what I understand, Jay-Z wrote the whole thing, right?
Yeah, he wrote the whole shit.
He wrote the whole thing, right.
Wrote the whole shit. You know what I'm saying? To where Snoop like, all right, good looking shit. Thank you. Right.
That's pretty legit. That's top level. That's top shelf.
Okay, so I have a quick question too. When I was just thinking about something. You being from Cali, in the past couple of years, most people didn't know about Nip before his untimely passing.
Yeah.
But you actually did a song with him, you know what I'm saying, a young Nip. So can you talk to us about your experience with, meeting him and actually doing the song with Nip and how that all came about?
Yeah, so I was working on this dude Kaz's album at the time. And, me and him, we was just knocking out a lot of songs or whatever. And we was in Culver City. And, the nigga Kaz was like, man, I'm finna bring the young homie over here, man. Nigga Nip, he hard and yada yada. I was like, all right, cool. So he came through. And the homie Sloan came through. Sloan was working with Kaz at the time as well. But that was my first time meeting Sloan. So I would run the board, and Nip came in there, quiet dude, short hair, and we put on the Steel DRE. It's crazy that we was talking about that a little earlier, but we put on the Steel DRE track, went in there, wrote to it, and I just recorded him, and he knocked that shit out. And Sloan came in there and knocked his verse out, and I just kind of freestyled the hook, on some still representing all across the globe, and it was cool. And then Kaz is like, man, shit, go out and go in there and knock your verse out. Fuck it, nigga, do your shit. And I was like, all right, cool. And the shit came out, I want to say like a year or two later, and I was like, oh shit, and all of a sudden this nigga just started blowing up in in the hood doing his shit. And I remember seeing Nipsey. This was, I want to say 2013, 2014 in Sweden. It was me, Creighton Wish, Nipsey, Dub C, Crazy Tunes, rest in peace, and the Outlaws. And we was doing a show out in Stockholm, Sweden. And I remember asking him, I was like, man, what they do with that song? He was like, man, I don't even know, cuz yada yada. But you could tell his mind wasn't even knowing that song. Like he did like 1,000 songs after that.
Right.
But just to kind of catch his demeanor at that time with him and it was just two of his homies.
Right.
And just to catch his demeanor on how, they was just so focused on the next level and the next chapter in life. I was like, it was pretty dope just to see at that moment.
Have you had the chance to work with Dom Kennedy?
No,
not yet.
Mm-mm.
On your list, want to do it, or what is it? Cali guy?
If it happens, it would be dope.
It would be dope, right?
If it happens, it would be dope. I definitely paid attention to Dom Kennedy and Scheme and a few other people, man. So it'd be definitely dope to be working with those kind of dudes.
Right.
If it happens, that'll be a blessing, man. That'll be what's happening.
Right. I got a quick question about the, let's go back to when you were talking about overseas. Can you talk about the love that hip hop gets overseas and the experiences that you had overseas? Because from the videos that I see from all type of different artists, hip hop, especially now, I don't care when it came out, like hip hop seems like it's bigger over there than actually here.
I would say it's more appreciated.
Okay.
Because they don't get what we got. You know what I'm saying? Like for them to get a Bone Thugs and Harmony going to Australia, they'd be lucky to get that once a year. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Versus we would be in Arizona one day and Vegas tomorrow,
Right.
Then Texas one day, and we can hit the whole region, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, all in one whop. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Versus, going to motherfucking New Zealand. You know what I'm saying? That's not likely for them to see all the time.
Right.
Something like that. So, when people come through, it's like, oh shit, like, they see us from a whole nother perspective, a whole nother light. So when we do get down there, it's just love, and it's love here in the States. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
Motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers love who they love and real fans of it. But, versus overseas, you know what I'm saying? They'll get a Drake tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? They'll get a 2 Chainz the next day. They'll get some old school shit the next day. They'll get some new school shit the next day. Like we constantly pumping them out. You know what I'm saying? So we get that. Overseas don't really get that too often.
In your overseas experience, which one would you say top 3? Like, I gotta hit that up again. and again and again and again? What would you say?
Like just place to go.
Yeah. Or when you guys did a show there, it was like, yo, like we gotta come back here immediately when you have the opportunity.
I always say Australia is like my second home because that was the first place I ever went, and they took a nigga in like crazy.
Right.
A top 3, man. It's kind of hard, man. So.
That's a good problem to have.
Okay, right?
New Zealand is dope as well. New Zealand dope as fuck. But then you got places like Brazil.
Okay.
Like, you go to Sao Paulo, it's bananas over there.
Right.
It's bananas over there.
Man.
So these are places that hip hop, has afforded you the luxury of visiting these places, and most people just see them on TV,
right?
In a brochure, but you're actually getting a chance to go visit these places, and you're getting paid to do it.
Yeah.
Can't beat that.
That's why I said it's always a blessing, man. Like as much as I could rap about certain things and fight to be an artist over a DJ, it's always a blessing that being their DJ got me here.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yep. Okay, so with that, talking about going overseas, and I know you all tour, in the States as well. How do you balance like road and home life? How does that balance work? I know the pandemic kind of changed things a little bit, but prior to the pandemic, like how are you balancing that?
It's hard, man. I ain't gonna front. Like over the years of being on the road, and them dudes travel so much. You know what I'm saying? Like you miss a lot of birthdays, you miss a lot of holidays. And then you just kind of boom, like, damn, my son is fucking 11 years old and he's fucking damn near 6 feet.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like it gets hard, but just you kind of end up spoiling your kids when you come home and shit, and trying to spoil home, throw barbecues and go here and do shit that you shouldn't do because you should always save and invest your money in some other shit. But you kind of go home and kind of just give them as much time as you can because you still got to go to the studio. You still got to create more music, and there's other things you got to do. So it's hard to balance that time. You know what I'm saying? So I'd say the luckiest thing for somebody to do is have somebody on your side that's understanding and got patience.
Okay. Well, what I'm gonna do right quick is I had a bunch of pictures. I'm gonna flash some pictures up, and you kind of tell me like who these people are, and because I know some of these people on these pictures, people will know. Some of them they may not, because like this first one, I guarantee you people don't know who this is with you, but they know the work that he's done.
Okay. Battle Cat. DJ Battle Cat. Shout out to homie Polar Bear. I always like, hey Pete, let's take a picture. DJ Battle Cat, legendary producer, one of the dudes that would be on my bucket list.
Right.
Yeah. Dude's been around since the 80s. You know what I'm saying?
He killed on Snoop's track when he did that the Vapors. Oh man. Oh, he killed on that track. That track was dope.
From the Vapors to I Love It with the East Siders to Cali is Active with Dog Pound, and I can go on and on with E40, Na Na Na. I think that was I think that was Battle Cat that did Na Na with E40, and I can keep going on with that dude, man. That dude is impeccable when it comes to
Sure.
you know what I'm saying?
Yep. All right. So we know this is family right here.
Yeah, that's
So,
Lazy Bone. That's littlest nigga with the biggest heart.
and the amazing thing, people, is I've seen these guys in person, and that dude is not aging. That dude looks like that dude looks like
You're
he
like he's still
did
a
in the 90s.
teenager.
For real. He looks like he looked like he did in the 90s. Like I mean, they not aging. When you see these dudes, like they don't look like they were around back then.
Right. Right. I mean, you know, got to keep yourself up some kind of way.
Oh
Right.
yeah, definitely. All right. So this picture, of course, people will know, you know what I'm saying? You with legendaries
Yeah.
in this picture, you know what I'm saying? You got
Yeah.
you got Too Short, you know what I'm saying? So where was this picture taken at?
I want to say it was Texas.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to say that was Texas. Because I do remember Trader Truth being there too.
Okay. And I'm gonna point out something. See, I'm strategically doing things, and people will notice in these pictures because, see, if you look at Position now versus in some of these pictures, see, this is what he looks like now.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna talk about that a little bit
Yeah.
because Position, you know what I'm saying, he lost quite a bit of weight, changed his lifestyle up a little bit.
Right. Sure.
So how does that help for you being an artist and going on the road and traveling a lot? Is that harder now because you're eating healthier and because you change your lifestyle, or does that make things a little bit easier for you because you're in better health?
Well, I'll tell you this: being on stage, I don't get tired. Um, and I don't run out of breath. I never ran out of breath on stage, but when it comes to like doing some of those difficult songs, it's not a struggle for me no more. As far as like the eating better, at the time I just cut out like all carbs, all juices and sodas, which I'm back to carbs now, just a little bit. But and I got to like 300 pounds, and I was just looking at myself every day, and I've been telling myself for over a year that I needed to do something about it. And nobody's going to just say, "Hey, let's go to the gym, let's do this, let's do that." Something that you got to do on your own. So, Christmas came last year, and I was like 296, 297, and I'm over here. Me and my brother Rico just got through drinking 2 bottles of Hennessy, and I woke up the next morning, no hangover, no nothing, and I was like, all right, you got until the first where you can just eat and do whatever you want to do. And then New Year's Eve came. I don't even remember what I ate, but I remember drinking a whole bottle of Hennessy by myself.
Wow.
And I woke up around like 7 in the morning, got me a little Gatorade, and I was like, yeah, that's it. Like I can't keep doing this shit. So, I just cut off everything at one time.
Yeah, and that's hard, people. Y'all know because y'all like a lot of carbs out there. I guarantee you. Y'all got on me on my timeline, and y'all were fussing at me because I said I don't like little Debbie cakes anymore.
Hey man, leave the honey buns alone, man.
I know y'all out there eating carbs.
We still flow with the honey buns.
Yeah. So y'all gotta understand how hard that is, and we applaud him for making that move because, like I said, a lot of the stuff that he does, and I see it, like it inspires me. So when you look at people's timeline and the stuff that people post, it should be inspirational. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, like a little ratchet every now and again, but you should be following people who doing great things and who inspire you, not people who just, toxic and gonna bring you down. So hey, we appreciate what he puts out there because it inspires me.
Appreciate it. Man, I'm over, man, my birthday in a couple of weeks. I'm over here nervous about what's going to happen because I ain't had a drink since New Year's and shit.
What? No drink?
Nothing.
Man.
No drink, no smoke. I said, I was, the goal was to lose weight until my birthday, not drink, not smoke till my birthday. I literally made my goal a week ago, like 2 weeks ago. I ended up getting down to 190. Then I was like, 190 is a little too small. So now I'm finna get back up to like 205. I'm 200 now. So I'm like, all right, I can do 205 and just kind of like stay around that 210. Right. But I was like, I'm gonna just still not drink until my birthday.
That's for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Just kind of like keep that. Because I just feel like at least if I can accomplish these goals, then I can accomplish anything whatever I choose to put my mind to.
That's the boundary.
Yeah.
Now, when you get to sip, what's the drink of choice?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't even want to lie on myself.
I can tell you what he gonna drink. He talking about he don't know. Y'all, he gonna drink some Hennessy. Y'all, he gonna drink some Hennessy.
I mean, gotta have the hen, right? VSOP or the regular hen?
Probably if I do it'll be Hennessy White.
Okay.
If I drink Hennessy, the only reason why I'm thinking about it is because now I'm all about the calories and the carbs and all this other shit. And Hennessy has the most calories and carbs out of fucking
most sugar content.
So tequila has 0 calories. Drink that all fucking night.
I mean,
well, he'll be.
And it's clear. The clear stuff will bless you.
I don't even want to fuck with like vodka like that because that should sit on a nigga's stomach. Right. That should just kind of like sit there, and I'm like, nah, that shit is bad. Nah, I'm straight.
Like, yeah, I'm good. When you get to that certain age, you be like, look, man, you start learning yourself. Be like, yeah, I'm good. I ain't fooling with that. Yeah, that give me a headache every time.
Then you just get kind of, for me, you just get kind of tired of, especially being on the road and you over here turned up, and you gotta you going to sleep around 4, 5 in the morning. You got to wake up 8, 9 in the morning. You got to shake that shit off because you got somewhere else to
Right.
That shit it's annoying after a while.
Right.
And I got one last question pertaining to Bone as the group.
What up?
How is it working with them and you having the different personalities? Because, when you have a group, you're going to have different people that, operate different ways. And I'm pretty sure, when you're setting up like the show and what order the song goes in and things of that nature, like how is that working all that stuff out?
I mean, dealing with their personality is like dealing with any other group of people or whatever. I kind of, in the beginning, I kind of compared them to people in our family because, people on this side is a little dysfunctional. But we all have a good time. We all have a good time, and we love the shit out of each other and shit. So, you just kind of take everything day by day. And with me, I just kind of do my job, and you know what I'm saying. I don't take nothing too personal. You know what I'm saying. Everybody has their boundaries as respect as a man, but I don't really take anything else after that personal. So yeah, working with them, 5 different personalities, especially over the years, it just gets easier with time, man. We all know what we about. We all respect each other. It is what it is.
At the end of the day, it's business. Business trumps most of it, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. So before we get up out of here, we definitely want to talk about your albums. So I know right now on Apple Music, because that's what I use. So you have 2 albums out right now.
Right.
But on Apple Music, you got Changing Faces, which recently just came out, and Take Your Position. So talk to us, a little bit about those.
Well, I'll start with Take Your Position. That came out around 2017, December 22nd, 2017. Heavily on the road, but every day we was just recording something, doing something. Shout out the homie Adrian Swish. He actually at the time was just pushing me to put out more music. Because before then, I also have a mixtape on Dat Piff and shit like that called Lyrical Cardio. So it was just, like, man, Bone is cool, but don't be waiting on nobody and yada yada. Like, you got some dope music, put it out. So taking Position at the time was like a step in me just doing my shit instead of just being a DJ and shit like that.
Right.
Having fun, but just really taking control of being Position. With Change of Faces that just dropped June 30th, it was more of things that transpired these past few years. With the death of my stepdaughter, and at the same time my cousin died same year, my auntie died same year, a friend of mine by the name of DJ Snow, she died. All this happened within like months of each other. Well, so now the same Nip died, and it was just a lot going on. So it kind of took a nigga back to where it was like I didn't want to do shit, and I was just drinking a lot. I was doing a whole lot of drinking at the same time. We touring. I'm out here doing what Position do on the road, and like I said, for like that year or so, I was just telling myself, like, man, it's time to do something different. It's time to really change. When everything is going good, everybody fuck with you. Everybody, my nigga this, my nigga that. But then,
right.
You know what I'm saying? You always catch yourself, fucking with other people, doing what you got to with other people. But then, be home for a minute and don't pick up your phone, and then, see how your phone start ringing or not to those same people.
Yep.
Right.
So it was just one of those things where all that started transpiring, and I was like, you know what? I don't need to drink for a while. I just need to reset my body. I need to focus on this music. I need to stop being mentally lazy. I just need to change everything.
Right.
So that's how Change of Faces came about.
Reinventing. Sometimes you got to go through that phase. Reinvention. Learn yourself, learn a little bit more. So look at your surroundings, man, and be like, you know what? I could be doing that.
Yeah.
When you come to that realization, man, that's empowering. That's for sure.
Yeah, and it's you. Like I said, you end up not taking shit personal, right? Because you understand everybody else got their own individual lives, whatever the case may be. So you just gotta look at everything in its own perspective, man. Focus on what you got in front of you and the people that's there to help you to do your shit.
Right.
And just keep it moving after that.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, people, I'm gonna flash these up one more time. You know what I'm saying, so y'all can see. Y'all can pull y'all phones out right now after you've been, after you finish watching the show, and go download Changing Faces and take your position. You know what I'm saying, to go check them out. Some bangers, you know what I'm saying. So y'all got something new to ride to, because I know y'all tired of listening to what's on the radio and the same stuff you hear every day. You know what I'm saying. Yeah. Go listen to something new, man.
And it's a dope ass album too. That's like not even saying that. Yeah, not even saying it because it's me. It's a really dope ass project that you can listen to from top to bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like Crazy Bone on there, the homie Kane on there, Lady Smoker, you know what I'm saying? Rocky, I got a few other people on there, man. The homegirl TT Janae. Shit it's a dope ass album. And I'm working on another one right now that I'm about to put out probably like in a month or so.
Wow.
Sure. Yes, sir.
And y'all, before we wrap things up, I'm gonna tell you a brief story I was telling, Benji before the show. So Position came to Dallas and he invited your boy out to the concert. So he didn't just invite me to the concert, people. He invited me on an experience. So I went to the hotel to meet them before the show. So I got a chance to meet all the members, chill with them, get a chance to see them in their element, meet some of the other artists and some of the other people that are involved in the shows. So, that was amazing in itself because, growing up, I'm just like y'all. Like I was a fan of Bone Thugs and Harmony too.
Right.
So, it was dope to meet them. And quiet as kept. I ain't gonna go into too much detail, but me and PZ, we didn't grow up together. We didn't grow up knowing each other. We found out we were cousins, a couple years ago. So
Right.
that's a whole nother episode. We have to talk about that because that's a long story. But the fact that he invited me out and we had a dope time, y'all. I got a chance to go from the hotel before the show. We rode to the show, walk in, feeling important when they walk in with the entourage and everything, and then set up for the show, feel the energy. When we got to the show, Juicy J was actually on stage, so the crowd was hyped
Yeah.
and the energy was in the building. And y'all, when I tell you, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not a smoker. I don't smoke. But there was weed. There was so much weed smoke. I had never seen this much weed smoke. There's not this much weed in my life.
Right. Right.
So I was getting the full experience. When we got on stage, I was standing on the side of the stage, and Cuz was like, "Nah, man, you need to come up on the stage with us." So he pulled me up on the stage with them. So y'all, I got a chance to experience a Bone Thugs and Harmony show on the stage. Full energy, got a chance to see the crowd and their reaction. And y'all, there was people there who forgot how many hits that Bone got in
Bone
their
Thugs, yeah.
catalog. Like people sleep on that a little bit, so you can see the surprise in some of them young folks' eyes that was in the audience along with the old heads. But the old heads knew. So, you know what I'm saying? The show was dope. After the show, the experience. And one thing I can tell you though, that just really sat with me the whole time is they're a family, man.
Right.
Like Position, Bone Thugs and Harmony, the other artists, other people that are involved with the group. Everybody has a real family atmosphere, man, and that was super dope to see that. And regardless of what people may say about artists and how they act and who they really are, man, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Position, that whole camp, like top flight first class people, man. They really are family. So that's what it's really
Yeah.
about, and I appreciate him for doing that because y'all, that was my first real concert. So to have that whole
We got to
experience,
get you out of the house
I'm
more, my
forever
man.
grateful. Hey, I've been to some since then. You know what I'm saying? So hey,
For sure.
I appreciate that opportunity though. So,
Now, I'm sure it was the sticky icky, the Kush that was,
I have no idea.
You're like, I don't know.
I was probably a little buzzed because there was a lot of it.
You got hot
So,
boxed.
it was a lot.
It was all in the atmosphere, man.
It was a
Right.
lot.
You
It
got
was a lot. It was definitely in my clothes when I left.
Hey,
You got to embrace the aroma.
You know what's
gotta
crazy?
embrace that.
You know what's crazy? Because you did get to meet all 5 members, right?
All 5.
And the crazy part is that I would say that was 2018 because that was the last year Busy was on the road with us. The last time it was December. I want to say December 18th of 2018 or something like that.
Yeah, because that was he actually came to town. That show was actually Thanksgiving week or the day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, because the next day I went and picked him up and brought him to the crib, and he had Thanksgiving with the fam. So that was dope too for him to be able to meet other family members and everything for the first time. So yeah, we probably need to write a book about this story because it's low key amazing. But man, we appreciate you for joining us today.
Sure.
At the end of every show, we go around and kind of let everybody have they parting words or they final advice. So we're gonna go to you, Position, and I want you to answer a question, but then tell people where to find you as well. But the last question I have for you: any advice that you have for aspiring artists or producers out there, something that you could give them to help them?
I mean, right now the main advice that I would give any artist, younger, older, put the motherfucking music out. You know what I'm saying? No sense of holding it, putting it out. make sure that you got somebody that's looking out for you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, you end up realizing everybody has their own interests at some point, you know, to something. But, you know, if you are the focal point, then everybody should have that that focal point on you and where you need to go. So, you know, get you a good team, get music done, get the music out. It's gonna get heard regardless. Just keep that hustle going. And it's not just about putting it on the internet. Internet is one thing. Get out there and hustle. Get out there and meet motherfuckers. Talk to motherfuckers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to get rejected. You feel me? Don't get upset. You know what I'm saying? When you do get rejected, because you're gonna see them same motherfuckers when somebody else say yeah. You feel me? So just get out there and really just get your grind on. Period. Don't stop.
Sure.
And where can the people find you? Like on social media, your IG, Facebook?
I'm on everything. I'm on every day, all day. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. And I'm on Snapchat. And I'm on TikTok. And all of it say Position. You see it on the bottom of the screen. Everything is Pozition. Nothing else. Not DJ Position, just Position. Period. It's like Prince, one word, Position. But, yeah, man, talk to me. I talk back all the time.
Sure.
And if y'all missed the meaning of Position, go back and watch the beginning of the episode because it's definitely worth rewinding and listening to that piece of the story.
Ladies, go check that out. You want to check that out for sure.
Right. Position definitely in the building, man. And I want to thank y'all. Thank y'all for having me, man. It's been
no problem, fam.
Sure. So,
Benji.
Man, simply, man, great to meet you, bro. Certainly gonna download that music, get some of it in my story, man. Put some of it, in my playlist, and just kind of get to that point, man. Knowing some of the cast that you've worked with and collabed with, and all of that, especially kind of being in Cali right now, man. I'm on the whole Cali feel. What was it about a couple weeks ago? I'm from the South, so Ken, what's your top 5 or whatever? I think I put like 5 West Coast albums on there. Yes. They was giving me heat. 5. They was like, "What's going on? You from the South?" I'm like, "Man, look, man, I became a man out here in Cali. So being out here, man, and all the cats that you collabed with."
How long you been in Cali now?
Man, I left Texas in '97, so we're looking at 23 years.
Yeah, you Cali now.
It's like forget it. We Cali. It's Cali now, man. So nah, man, just legit, man, to kind of chop it up with you, man, and privileged to ask you a few questions, man. That's pretty dope, man. Thank you for just being solid, man, and sticking to your craft and just being yourself, man, through the whole process. It's dope.
Nah, thank y'all. I appreciate everything.
And Benji, where can the people find you?
I mean, my name, Benji Banks, but if you follow me on Facebook, you're going to get a whole bunch of shenanigans. But if you follow me on my IG, BRB4701, you're just going to get all business. You get what I'm saying? So, man, just look me up. Check me out. I'll keep you laughing, or more than likely, I want some money from you anyway. So,
All right. Well, y'all already know. Y'all can find me on Big Ken's Comedy on IG, Big Ken's Comedy on Twitter, Big Ken's Comedy on Facebook. You can also find me at the Fire Session Podcast on IG, the Fire Session Podcast on Twitter. We're working hard trying to bring y'all good content, good interviews. So if y'all have any suggestions of people you want us to interview or topics you want us to talk about, don't be afraid to inbox me and let me know. Because we really do take suggestions, you know what I'm saying? Because we really want to bring you content that's pertinent to you, that you really want to see.
Sure.
And y'all know, if y'all follow me, I act a fool. I post stuff that's wild and it's crazy on a daily basis. So, don't be surprised by what you see on my timeline, what you see on my post. Just enjoy it and know that that's really who I am away from social media. So we enjoy doing the show. The Fire Session is in its 3rd season. we're learning, we're growing, we're trying to grow the brand. So if y'all like the show and y'all want to support it, tell people about us. You can search us also on YouTube. You can search the Five Session Podcast. You can also search You See It Productions, and you can view the videos. They're also live on there as well, and they're stored on there, so you can go look at them anytime. You can go to the Five Session page on Facebook. All the videos are there, so you can check them out at any time. We're gonna bring you a show every week. And like I said, hey man, we just trying to give you the best content we can possibly give you. We
Sure.
appreciate you tuning in today. Position brought us a great interview, some great information, some great
Sure.
stories. So if you missed the interview, if you missed any of the parts, go back and check it out, because I'm telling you, it's very much worth it, y'all. But we're gonna see y'all again next week. We're gonna bring y'all another dope interview from another dope individual. I'm not gonna tell you who it is. You gotta tune in to find out. So
Sure.
we're gonna holler at y'all. Y'all have a great week. Y'all already know it's the Fire Session. Peace.
Appreciate y'all.